More updates on the situation in Japan throughout the next few hours here on the BBC World Service. It's 7:24 GMT. Now, street musicians are a feature of most major cities, certainly in Europe and in the UK. One of the places they like to play is around churches and cathedrals. Well, for the past week, there's been a bit of a spat between Bath Cathedral and the musicians who play outside. Last Sunday, a service was called off because the choir was being drowned out by a busker. All is now amicable. As services begin today, the church authorities said in a statement that apologies were given and received, and everyone was going to work together in the future. Well, we called up Jez Broon, who runs the Bath Buskers website.
I love music. I'm a self-taught guitarist, and it's a really good rehearsal room. I get out there, nobody really cares if I make a mistake with my chords, because if you look at it from the point of view that nobody actually asks you to play, so we're really imposing on a public space, so you just hope that people will like your particular blend of music. Regarding amplification, this is a real bone of contention, because the ambient street level noise of the public, you know, considering that Bath is a major tourist centre, is actually quite high, and a lot of really talented street entertainers wouldn't be heard in today's noisy, quite aggressive kind of society unless they had some form of amplification. So I don't think the issue is the amplifier. The issue is level number 11 on the amplifier, which all musicians means it's way over the maximum. Playing outside an abbey is a real privilege because, for a start, you've got a ready-made audience, because a lot of tourists obviously flock to abbeys in cities like Bath, but also it's a wonderful wide open space. I can really feel the acoustics. We are very, very free. We're uniquely free. I think the freedom we enjoy is one that we should put in context. And it made me think, God, how petty and minuscule our problem is. We take for granted in Britain a huge piece. We take it for granted. To me, when I'm really in my element, because I work from home and I get cabin fever, is to come down on an early Saturday evening and I set up my amplifier outside the Abbey, and I set my amplifier at a really low level and I start playing The Girl from Ipanema. And then suddenly I see the crowds looking at me and I'm thinking, oh, I'm not used to this attention. Because I expect people to listen to me, not watch me. And then I realise they're not looking at me, they're looking beyond me, and I look over my shoulder and there's a delightful young South American couple dancing to my playing of The Girl from Ipanema, and everybody's smiling.
Jez Broon on the freedom to play outside. Buskers, Colleen, are you a fan?
I'm a fan, particularly in the London Underground. Sometimes it can be a little dreary, and when you hear that music being played, everyone picks up their step, smiles. It's wonderful.
Likewise, Tom?
Well, I'm reminded by that of an account by a monk in 11th century France who complained that the singing of the monks was being drowned out by pilgrims who were yelling, screaming and chanting even more loudly than the monks. So essentially there's nothing new, and I hope that people in Bath will recognise that they're getting back in touch with their medieval roots.
Only Tom can bring in the 11th century for busking. I love it. I love it.
You did. Do you like the structured element in London now, whereby you have to sort of, stand in a particular place and audition and all that?
I think it's great because they then have really quality acts that are there. You know that they're impressive. You don't have people fighting over street territory or playing over one another. But I do think for Bath, work around the cathedral services.
Okay, well, here's a little bit of Buskers music to play us out. Thank you both very much for being...
dance.
Absolutely, please do. Thank you both for being a part of the programme today. Thanks to Tom and to Colleen, and to you for listening to this edition of Weekend.